Hey sweet friends, and welcome back to my channel. I'm super excited for how today's projects turned out. I think they are beautiful decor pieces. I was dying to make some new pieces for my laundry room. We don't have a real laundry room. My washer and dryer is kind of in like a larger hallway room, so it is visible to anyone that is going to go use the restroom at my house. So I wanted it to be a little bit more appealing, so I was dying to make some new pieces. I have been getting some comments requesting some laundry room DIY, so I thought this was perfect timing and excited to share this with you all. Don't leave without hitting that thumbs up button, and make sure you are subscribed if you like DIYs and crafting. And I do want to give a huge thank you to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. I'll tell you a little bit more about them later on in the video, but I have a really awesome deal for you all and I think you're going to love it. But let's go ahead and jump on into the DIYs. For the first DIY, I wanted to make a larger laundry sign that would make more of an impact rather than cutting this sign down smaller. But I'm using one of my leftover Easter taller signs from Dollar Tree. I started by removing all the 3D pieces on the front. I thought those little bunny feet off of the front would be adorable to save, and maybe paint little baby feet on there. And you could recycle that for like a diaper cake or maybe a DIY baby gift. So I thought that would be something really fun to save. I love saving all of those little wood pieces off of my Dollar Tree signs. So I started by filling in my nail holes with some wood filler or spackle, and then I'm going to give this a couple nice coats of my Waverly chalk paint in the white color.
Make me blind. You will always be there. There's no doubt in my mind. You will always be there. Heading out to see ya and leave the rest behind. Whoa.
The last time that I was in Dollar Tree, they had some gorgeous new laundry room decals, or they were new for my store. But if you can't get out and get these, you definitely could type something on a Word document or make something in PicMonkey, or just print off a free printable that you find online, or just use the Dollar Tree stickers. But I think any kind of black stickers popping off of this white. I love these little decals. This one says laundry room, drop your drawers here. I thought that was too cute to put in the laundry room. I wanted this sign to be more of a focal piece in my laundry room. My walls are gray in there, so I thought that the white and the stained board would pop off of there. So I just went out to the garage and picked out a board. I'll leave the dimensions in the description box, but I just laid the sign on top of it and cut it a little bit longer than my Dollar Tree sign, and I just feel like this just upped the quality of it and made it so nice, and I loved it. I'm just using walnut stain that I already had. It kind of has like an orange undertone to it, which I'm not crazy about, but all that was really exposed was the edges, and it looked a lot darker on the edges, so I was really happy with it and just think that it frames it beautifully.
'Cause you will always be there. Oh, oh. 'Cause you will always be the one to hold it.
After I applied my stain on there, I let it set for several minutes, probably 10 to 15 minutes, and then I'm just using, I used a plastic bag over my hands so I didn't have to use up my gloves, but I was able to take a paper towel and just kind of get all the excess stain off, and then I took this outside and let it completely dry. So the next thing I'm doing is just going to hot glue my Dollar Tree sign down on there. This literally was like 4 to 5 steps and super simple, but it's such a beautiful farmhouse laundry sign that I know that you would pay a high ticket price for if you bought it from a store. The Dollar Tree decals are definitely one of my favorite items to craft with because it's the easiest way to put font on a sign. This is how it came together, and I think it is absolutely gorgeous. I hope you all are enjoying these laundry room DIYs as much as me. I'm just loving how they turned out. But before we go on into the video any further, I do want to thank Skillshare for sponsoring today's video and tell you a little bit more about them. I honestly feel like Skillshare is something that us creative people really need right now. We are in these weird, stressful days, and if you're anything like me, you just want to stay busy. And Skillshare is just that perfect place to get away, express creativity, and put your mind at ease while challenging yourself to learn something new. Skillshare is an online learning community made up of creators just like yourself, offering thousands of classes so that you can explore something new and just be creative. Skillshare is a perfect way to break up the everyday routine and stop wasting time just scrolling and actually spend time doing things that you love and focus in on bettering skills on projects or hobbies that you already love. I'm actually finishing up this class by Rosalie Hazelet called Watercolor in the Woods, which has been my favorite class yet. It is so calming and relaxing, and I feel like I'm already better at paying attention to the tiny details when using watercolor paints. So I definitely recommend checking out that class. I will leave a link down below, and for the first 1,000 of my subscribers will receive a free 2-month premium membership so that you can go and try this out for completely free. And I know that creative people just like you are going to love it because I have been enjoying these classes so much. So I will put that link down below. But let's go ahead and jump on into the video because I have some more gorgeous laundry room DIYs. So I found another set of gorgeous Dollar Tree decals that I was dying to use, and I needed a sign with a pretty background. I wanted these to really pop off but have some texture in there so it doesn't just look like another cheap Dollar Tree sign, if that makes sense. So I'm using one of these little wooden signs. These are actually larger than the wooden signs that I usually get, so I was so excited to find these. They do have the little eyelashes cut out of them, so I needed to find a way that I could cover all of that up, and I wasn't able to just paint this white. So I want this to look like it has a little frame around the edges, so I start with some of my dark gray elephant color paint in the Waverly chalk paint and give that a couple coats all the way around the edges. And I wanted to do that first, that way I could go ahead and fill it in the background with white. Even though I am going to be using some wood slats over this, I wanted a really nice white bright background so that it wasn't too harsh and dark if my slatted lines weren't exactly perfect. The white paint in the background would shine through and kind of hide all those mistakes. So I'm using some of these huge popsicle sticks from Walmart. I love having these on hand, and I'm just kind of measuring how big they need to be and then cutting them down with a pair of scissors and then using that as a pattern to cut the rest of them. Some of them were a little bit too large, so I had to cut them down, but pretty much get the same size.
Did you ever stop and think?
I ended up needing 7 of the popsicle sticks, but went ahead and painted a few extra just to make sure in case one cracked or wasn't working. And I went ahead and painted these white, and I ended up doing 2 coats so that these would be really bright white and not show any of the wood through.
Just getting ready. Let me be honest. I don't know a single thing that I haven't.
These were a snug fit, which was perfect. Like I say, a couple of them I had to cut back down, but I wanted these to be as close to the edge as possible so you wouldn't be able to see any imperfections. And then I kind of held the others in place while I took one out at a time and then glued it back down so that these wouldn't shift around because they all needed to be in their exact spot or they wasn't going to fit.
Let me be real here. When I see you, my heart starts.
Like I said, I was needing to cover the holes in the background, so I'm using these, but you definitely can use a Sharpie if you have a solid sign. So these are the adorable decals that I found new at Dollar Tree. Like I say, I'm not going to Dollar Tree now, I'm just using what's in my stash, but I found these before we got quarantined down, and I thought they were adorable. I love the font on these, but most of all, I love the little images of the washing machine and the little basket of clothes. So I thought they were adorable and will make a beautiful sign. So after I fixed the wash and dry, because I had that backwards, I swapped that and then just found where I could put all these little photos. At first I didn't think I would use the huge little machine, but I thought it was too cute not to, and I am just so happy because I think that's what makes the whole sign so adorable. So I like to cut these out and see where they're gonna go, so I cut them as close to the letters as possible, and I can kind of rearrange them and see where they need to be, and then I can peel them off and put them down. But I thought this was so cute. Wash, dry, fold, repeat. That is kind of the story of my life right now. We are doing a ton of dishes and a ton of clothes, so this is a perfect to put in my laundry room. And this is how it came together. I don't have a lot of shelf space, so I stuck a ribbon on the back of this and hung it over one of my cabinets that I don't use a ton of the time, and just thought it was adorable hanging there and a perfect way to dress up these little cabinet doors. The next thing I wanted to do is find a neat little place that you could put your lint into. I took a Hobby Lobby basket last year and turned it into a lint basket, and I love using it. And I know a lot of you all really liked it and you wanted one, but they were hard to find because it was something that had been clearanced out. So I wanted to be able to bring you something that everyone can make, especially since it's only $1. So I found this tote basket at Dollar Tree, and I thought it has the perfect pattern on there and just the perfect shape. It's really slim and tall, so it would hold a lot of lint and kind of fits small against the wall, and very lightweight, so if you wanted to hang this up. It does have a lot of holes in it, so later on if you wanted to add a piece of burlap inside so that none of your lint could poke through, but I didn't do that on video, but it's something I will definitely do later. So the first thing I wanted to do is give this more of a galvanized look, so using some of my elephant color chalk paint, which is the dark gray. I started by dabbing this on around the handle to really get that texture. I also thought I would have to dab it all over the whole basket, but there was so much texture on there you really couldn't tell, so I just brushed it on there. It was a lot easier and I got a lot more coverage.
How'd you do? I'm not broken, I'm just split in two. Hope you're fine. Ain't got time to do everything you say.
I did end up having to still continue to do the dabbing effect on like the slick plastic areas, so around the top where it didn't have a lot of texture, and then I showed you the bottom where I kind of brushed over so that it kind of blended in with the entire thing. So I wanted a little wooden circle to hang off of this. I had found these wooden, I think they were called wreath ornaments or wreath charms from Dollar Tree a couple months back, and I bought like 10 of them, and I'm sad that they didn't have more. I thought a 10 was a lot of them, but I am going through them because they are so much fun to use. So I just covered this over. It is cute as it is if you want to use it as it is or on a wreath or something, but I wanted a sign that said lint so you would know exactly, and other people would know exactly what this was, and especially maybe like encourage my husband or something to kind of put the lint in here. But I just traced a wooden spool that I had with a Sharpie marker to get the black circle, and then just freehanded the word lint. You definitely could use stickers, but I wanted more of a curly font that would fill up the entire circle, and I kind of thickened the lines a little bit to look a little bit better. And then I peeled off some greenery from a Hobby Lobby garland that I had, and I put them opposite directions, and I thought it would be so cute if this little lint sign hung from a piece of jute string with a couple little wooden beads at the top. So I weaved those through. These are from just a Hobby Lobby wooden bead garland, but you definitely can just order these online, and then I tied it to the top of this basket.
Frames of the past and the memory of you just come running by. Pictures of sunny days with your smile and the
I wish so bad I would have picked up more of these baskets, because I also think this same design would work perfect hanging like stacked on top of each other, hanging on the wall to hold like folders above your desk or papers, especially since we're all homeschooling. So I did buy 2 of these, and one of them got stepped on, so it cracked, but I wish so bad that I could get some more of them, because like I say, I think this would be gorgeous in an office. But this is how the lint turned out. I think it is beautiful. I love the little wooden beads and how it makes it pop off of there, but I just think it's so cute. I just set this on my dryer for now, but I'm definitely going to try to mount it on the wall. The next project is going to be a set of these 3 blocks. I searched my house over to find 3 matching wooden blocks the same size. I had a couple of these left over from Valentine's, but I couldn't find the 3rd one, so I really had to dig deep in my crafting stash to find it, but I was so excited that I found 3 the same size. And I'm going to make all 3 of these as a set, but you can definitely feel free to just make one if you have like some shelving area in your laundry room. But these were so adorable and how they come out, and I just love them so much. So the first thing I'm doing is using some silver lining chalk paint, which is a light gray color, and I'm going to brush the edges and the front and the inside of these little blocks. I'm going to do a little bit of the brown truffle paint over the top, kind of dry brush that over, and then I'll take a piece of sandpaper so it all kind of gets a little bit scratched up and looks more of like a wooden frame. After I was happy with how the edges looked and they looked like little frames, I painted the inside white. I'm actually, like I say, making a set of 3, and I would have went ahead and just painted all of the backings if I was just normally crafting, but I have another decal that I'm using, surprise, surprise. These are just so fun to use. That is a laundry room one, so Dollar Tree had it going on with the laundry room decals. I love them, but I was so excited to put this one in one of those little squares. It fit perfectly. I was worried I was going to have to cut off one of the lines to make it fit, but everything fit in there nicely, and I was inspired by that little t-shirt hanging off the hanger. I thought that was so adorable, and I thought it would be fun to make a larger one because I needed something to put in these 3 blocks. So I go ahead and press that down, and then I'm going to paint the other 2 with a black background so that they can kind of contrast off of each other and let some of the white words pop out. So a lot of times I am just used to using chalk paint, which is like a thicker substance, and I just put it on my project and blend it all in. I forget how much thinner that acrylic paint is, and whenever I try to put it on the project, I get way too much paint, so I did have to kind of dip some out of each of these because it was way too much, but I'll definitely use that on other projects that I'm going to be making today. And I try to use a smaller brush to go around the edges on the white one, but on the black one, it kind of blends in nicely, so I just went ahead and used a larger brush. I loved how the 2 darker blocks were on the bottom and then the white one was on the top. So I wanted to make a 5 cents per load. I thought that would be so cute, so I needed a white 5, so I ended up doing 2 coats on one of these poster stickers on the number 5. So I used that on this sign. I had to freehand the little cent sign, but for the per load at the bottom, I had some white felt stickers from Walmart, and these were the perfect size. So I just went ahead and added those to the bottom, starting with the last letter to try to get it as even as possible so I wouldn't run out of room. And that's how simple it was to get these words. But like I say, feel free to use any stickers that you have. Use a Cricut or Silhouette if that's what you have, or feel free to print something, or this is definitely something that you could freehand. And this last one is the one that I was so inspired by, that little shirt on a hanger. I wanted mine to look like a little t-shirt, so I added the sleeves. This is just something I cut out of a chocolate box cardboard piece that I had, and I'm using it as a pattern. So I just freely cut this out. I wasn't drawing it out or anything. So I wanted this one that I'm actually cutting out for the sign to be as symmetrical as possible. So I traced one side, flipped it over, and traced the same side so that they would be even. And then this is just a piece of a white cardstock that I'm cutting it out of. I wanted it to pop out of there, so I'm using my little black stitch method around the edges. I think that makes it really homemade looking and cute. And then I was just going to use the shirt at first, but I got so excited thinking about making my own hanger, so I just took a piece of thick wire that I had on hand and going to shape it into a little hanger form. I thought it looked like a real hanger at first, but then after I tried to attach it to the top, I kind of got it a little misshaped, but that's okay. I know that you're not going to see the bottom, so I just went ahead and glued that down to the sign and then glued the little white cardstock shirt over the top, and that's how easy these was to come together. You could do a ton of different options and make them more personalized, but I think this is a gorgeous, nice looking piece to add into your laundry room decor. And if you made it to the end, I have a special little treat for you. I figured a lot of people would be asking to see the entire laundry room reveal, but this is what it looks like. I just got the DIYs done and did beauty shots on them. I wasn't able to get my laundry room how I wanted. I still have laundry going, and I just ran out of time to get a beautiful reveal, so this is what you get. Thank you all so much for coming along with me today. I'm so excited to see which one of these projects that you like the most. I love them so much. I think the little t-shirt on the hanger is just adorable. My daughter was so impressed that I made a hanger. She's 7 and she was like, "Mom, can you make hangers for my My Life dolls or my American Girl dolls clothes?" So I think that's my next project that I'm gonna have to do. So they're keeping me very busy, but I love doing it and we all love crafting together, and that's why I love crafting so much. I feel like it brings people close together. I have wonderful memories of crafting with my family, and it's something that I want to raise my little girls, learning to create and just having fun together and making it more about the fun projects, not exactly how everything turns out. But I had so much fun making these projects. I really hope you enjoyed them. Do not forget about Skillshare. Go click that link down below. I am loving my watercolor painting classes, and I know you will too. And it is so relaxing watching someone teach you how to paint and kind of following along, and it's broke down step by step, so it's really easy to follow. Make sure you let me know in the comments down below which video you want to see next, because that inspired today's video, and I'll see you next time. Happy crafting. Bye.